What's up, everybody? I want to take some time to talk about Real-Time Arena. We are 3 days in now. I'm sure at this point you've seen countless videos on what the best strategy is, what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? How much time it actually takes? And that's a part specifically I want to focus on. I've seen a lot of information out there suggesting that in order to complete these, you're talking about hours of your day to get through to complete all 100, and that's just not true. If you're careful about how you approach it and you do things efficiently, I think you can spend about 35 to 40 minutes in game per day for the 28 days. If you want to spend more on Sundays to go through things faster, you obviously can. But really, we're talking about a little over half an hour a day, 40 minutes tops to get through all the objectives you need to stay on pace to finish all 100 levels. And I'm going to show you what I mean. So let's start with looking at the objectives. Each daily objective follows the same pattern where you have an ability that could be utilized in multiple characters. So for instance, today I have minions. A day ago, you could have defenders, or you could have inhumans, which I had. And then you'll have two that are specific to a character, in which case I have Ghost Rider and Wasp. After that, you have 5 knockouts, 15 knockouts, 25 knockouts, win 1 match, win 3 matches, and those are the same dailies every single day. So you get the same amount of points every single day for doing the dailies. Then there's the weekly tier rewards or objectives, where you have usability skill. I've completed a few of them already, so I had usability brawlers, usability's beast, usability's mystic, as well in my weeklies. Now, my first 3 days in, you can see I'm at level 10, which puts me roughly on pace to complete all 100. We have 128 days, which is a little more than 3.5 levels per day you need to achieve to get that. And you can see I'm well on my way to completing some of these high value weekly events that I haven't yet. And I'm doing that by just focusing on the dailies, and then once I get a certain aspect of the dailies done, instituting characters that I need to use for the weeklies to continue down that path. And you can see by following that method, I've almost essentially passively gotten 118 abilities used with skill in 3 days. I've gotten 143 knockouts in 3 days to go towards the weekly for the 550. So I might not get the 550 knockouts, but I won't necessarily need to. I'm on pace for the 225 and on pace for 350 to where that's going to leapfrog me well ahead of time. So what do I mean by passively finishing the weeklies? Is I will start my first matches with 3 minions, Ghost Rider and Wasp, and I'll go through the battles using those abilities, hopefully getting knockouts, hopefully getting wins. The matchmaking is still pretty rough, so likely what'll happen is I'll be facing some high-powered teams where that's going to be very difficult to do and get those wins and knockouts to complete the dailies off the bat. But what I am doing is efficiently finishing these first 3 in as few matches as possible, hence decreasing my time in game. So once I get minions done, Ghost Rider, Wasp in any order, once Ghost Rider's done, for instance, if he's the first one out, I dump Ghost Rider, I'm checking my weekly out, and I'm going to pop in a skill character. And then once the minions are done and Wasp's done, I'm going to look at building just a skill team, if I can, to finish out the rest of these knockouts and win these matches. Now what that's going to do is, of course, by finishing these knockouts, I'm adding to knockouts down here, and I'm also finishing the abilities for skill. Now the great thing about this is that's what I've been doing so far with these first 3 days. It's taken me 35 minutes on average to finish all the dailies plus some of these weeklies, and it's gotten me to a position where I can essentially get through these as fast as possible with as little amount of time in game. So let's do a couple matches here. We'll get through and see the strategy a bit in action. So we're going to go into match here. Remove these characters. Looking for ability minions. Now, Ghost Rider and Wasp are being added as well. I'm probably going to use my shield just because they're the highest power and I have a better chance of them actually working for me, as long as we don't freeze up. So we're going to drop in Medic, Shield Assault. Now we'll put in Ghost Rider. And we'll put Wasp on that end. Back to minions. Put in shield security there. So like I said, now this has given me 3 minions to go after this ability, Ghost Rider and Wasp. So let's get to it. Match found. It's a gross punch up, so we're obviously not looking to win this one. We're probably not even looking to get more than maybe 1 or 2 knockouts if we're lucky. And really just focusing on maximizing to use the abilities to where I don't have to use these characters anymore. And that's the point. I've seen some strategies where you're using 3 meta characters and you're dropping in other characters to try to help them survive. Now that's fine, it's certainly another approach to it and a way to do it, but my personal thought is more times than not it'll take you longer to get through those characters' abilities than it would be to just start with all 5 that you need specifically for the objectives. And using minions is a bit tougher one because you're going to drop minions into tough battles, and they only have 1 ability, so I'm waiting for turns to come back around before I get to really go again. But we're not doing too bad here. We might actually get a knockout here still, which is good. That Captain Marvel's really doing a number to us, but that's pretty much expected for what we're doing here. So we did get a knockout. We've got abilities used by quite a few of them. Might get a couple more out of. We're lucky. The energy to... No, he ain't gonna make it. Okay, so first match not too bad. Actually went a little bit better than I thought. We ended up getting a knockout. So we got 1 knockout, and let's see how many abilities we're able to use up. So 2 for Ghost Rider, 2 for Wasp, 2 for the minions. Let's go after another one. We're using the same team. If we keep that pace, you know, Wasp and Ghost Rider will be done in 5, and then I can drop in another minion and, you know, Nick Fury being a skill character for the other side, and we can run full Fury Shield, which will help. And now we're looking at some random characters here too, so we've got some potential here to actually win a match, plus use all of our cooldown or abilities. Assuming who we're facing actually goes. There we go. Alright, now I do want to go after Anti-Venom to prevent any revives, so we're going to go after him first. Hawkeye can also be an issue. Well, it's a big symbiote Spider-Man, which does not help. But we do got the taunt on shield security, that's helpful. Doing some work there. So we got a knockout, great. Haven't used a ton of abilities yet, which is unfortunate, but we'll see what we get. Yeah, so I think we got 1 ability, 2 from Wasp, 1 from Ghost Rider, 1 from the minions here. Another option too for these minions might be running Red Skull. There's another potential once I get through the Wasp and Ghost Rider. Yeah, so we're getting close. 3 and 10, 4 and 10. You guys kind of get what we're getting at here. And let's actually, I want to check this real quick. Now, I could use that, but it'll be more efficient to keep going the way I'm going, I think, instead of pulling in Red Skull and his minions. And this is really just the problem with matchmaking right now, right? I'm going up against 403 teams. This guy probably has to use Red Skull in some form or fashion, or maybe even Zemo, or they're using skill characters, and whatnot, who knows. Yeah, this is a team where I'm not even gonna get to take a turn here. Yeah. Baron Zemo. Unfortunate matchmaking, and really that's the time sink into this, is when you get some poor matchmaking. And this is another one. We'll see how far we can get. Some options you have if you just get run into where you've got, the characters that you're able to use are so low and you need to have some protection, you can toss in like Shuri for the defense up for 2 turns if you need, just to sub in one character to where you can actually get some abilities off, or you can bring Phoenix in knowing that she's going to give you shield and do that, what she just did there. So you have some options if you're really struggling. And yes, I know there's a heal block, but it's just about using the abilities at this point and getting it done and over with. So I know I'm not going to win. There's no reason for me to try to even entertain that thought, and just use as many abilities as I can. And we're actually doing not too bad in this one. It's not fun, right? You're going into a match knowing you're going to lose. Nobody likes that. But I'm doing this as efficiently as I possibly can to spend as little time in the game as possible. And at the end of the day, really, until this game mode becomes something that's more fun, that's just the approach that most of us are going to have to take. So I think you get the idea. I'm going in, knowing most of these battles with the way matchmaking is, knowing I'm going to lose. But I'm just trying to maximize the number of abilities used per match every time that I can. Getting close to finishing Wasp and Ghost Rider. Once they're done, like I said, I'll come on here and I'll swap them out with skill characters, knowing they're going to take out work towards this ability. And like I said, you can see here we're almost to the halfway point, a little less than halfway, right, of the 7 days. I've almost done with that one. I'm on track for completing this one. I'm on track for completing 350. Might be short for the 551, but again, you don't need all of them. They're very clear on that. And I think this will get me, based on the math, it'll get me to 100 levels without any issue. You complete all the dailies, you get most of the way there, and you complete a few of the high value knockout ones for the weeklies, and you'll be there no problem. So I think that's the best way to do it. It allows you to get through it like with a half an hour's time spent in the game, like I said, 40 minutes max. And yeah, it's not as bad as what people think, really is what I'm saying. It doesn't take you 2 hours per day, 35 minutes, and you can get through this stuff and be good to go. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I stream on Twitch, usually Sundays through Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, so come hang out at twitch.tv/AgentSmithX, and we'll see you next time. Take it easy.